and the noise reduction totally makes, in my opinion, the 22 pellet better in certain applications. Hello everyone and welcome back to AmmoMart.com. As you noticed in the previous video where we talked about the history of the 5.56, for just a bit we're going to transition over into some rifle concepts. What we're going to do today is demonstrate firstly a Ruger Magnum air rifle chambered in .177, then a 22 caliber Ruger Magnum air rifle, and then graduate up to 22 long rifle firing subsonic, a normal speed bullet, and a high velocity 22 round. Using my phone, which has an app on it called Decibel X, we're going to try to keep track of how noisy all of this is. And if you look over here, you'll see we're actually set up our chronograph and we're going to fire all of those different types of projectiles into some ballistic gel to try and get a handle on how much penetration one of the pellet rifles has as compared to a 22. And also, as we mentioned, sort of compare it with the amount of noise that they make. I can tell you that I've taken a lot of small game with my 177, and the producer of the videos, Matt's going to let me borrow his 22 pellet gun, which I've taken an immediate liking to. So, let's see how all of this stacks up against one another related to sound and power. The 177 projectiles from Gamo, red fire, extreme accuracy. And as you all know, something I'm not really good at is keeping track of the chronograph reading, but I will do my level best. So here we go. First one into the gel block. .937 feet per second. And it hit 90.8 on the decibel reading. Let me go see what we have as far as impact. I apologize that my gel is not terribly clear. So you can see she went into about right here. Not terribly good, but enough to kill small game. Now we're going to use the 22 caliber pellet from Ruger called the Super Point. Try to get this all lined up here. Try to come up just a bit higher. That one was significantly quieter, 580 feet per second. He hit here. We're going to try to place the pellet more in an area where you can see it in our gel block. Out towards the edge. Hit him right here, and it stopped right here. Despite moving at significantly slower speed, it did have more penetration than the 177 and weighs more, which would be a good thing related to terminal ballistics. So what I'm going to do in my magazine tube is stage a subsonic hollow round from Eley, which is an excellent manufacturer of 22, a normal speed round from Federal, and then a high velocity 22 round, also from Eley. Once again, keeping track of penetration as well as speed and noise. This is a Mossberg 46B. Aperture sight's more of a target sight. I love this 22. One of my favorite guns ever. So the first one, Eley Subsonic Hollow. Because there's your pellet. flaps here. The next round up will be the normal speed 22 long rifle from Federal. Try to go up a bit, perhaps. (1,110 feet per second). And that guy should have been more over here. And I can show you right here where it stopped. So our entry point is here. You can see the cavitation line. I'll sort of trace it with the light. And it stops right here. Roughly 2/3 the distance of the block. Not too bad for a normal speed round. So our last round is the high velocity hollow point. Also from Eley. And I'm going to try to go high right edge again. (1152 feet per second). Still hasn't broke 100 on the decibel reading. And I placed the hollow point right here, so you can see it towards the top. And if I roll this down, you can see it perfectly right there. So about 8 inches of penetration, but what I think is really remarkable is the 22 pellet right here. Significantly less noisy. So, some interesting results when you consider how noisy it was as compared to Matt's 22 air rifle. The penetration was roughly the same. I'll give you an exact measurement before we get to the end of the video. And the noise reduction totally makes, in my opinion, the 22 pellet better in certain applications. Oddly enough, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of difference in speed factor either between Subsonic and, at least out of our length barrel, the high speed. Simply wasn't true. Very disappointing to me was the Ruger Magnum air rifle in 177. It's only in the gel block a couple of inches, and the projectile flat doesn't weigh very much. So outside of a small squirrel, perhaps a very small rabbit, I don't think it has the reach and accuracy to, in my opinion, humanely dispatch small game. It would be, I think, more of a plinker than a hunter. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. We're going to do some more of this kind of thing in the future. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe.